What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for PNTV, Poetry News and Twisted Views. Let me see if I can get my camera at a better angle. There we go. Okay, I think that works. Yeah, we here for PNTV, Poetry News and Twisted Views. I got a lot to talk about, y'all. A lot. I have 6 pages of notes. Now, mind you, my font is hella big, but I'm going to try to get through all these, so let me just get into it. I'm going to try not to harp too long on certain topics, but certain topics just like threw me off. So this is mainly covering politics, but we do have some celebrity trending news that I'm going to throw in there at the end. Stick around to the end so y'all can hear that lighten up the day. So apparently, just going through my headlines, I saw one that came up that said that the Pentagon has threatened the Pope. I'm like, what the hell you mean they have threatened the Pope? We the first US Pope ever, and they get threatened by their own freaking country. So I dived a little bit into it. Apparently, Pope Leo, I forgot what his whole provost name is, but he did a speech about where he thought the state of the world is at right now, that peace, love, and hair grease is going out the window, and people are starting to romanticize the idea of war, and how he thought that was in a bad place. And he didn't specifically talk about the current administration, but the current administration took offense to that. So the dumb Don comes out with a little post talking about, we don't give a damn what you talking about. We the military and we can do what we want. And then they made some type of reference to this what is it called? They made reference to the Avignon papacy. This was a time where the I guess the faith was under attack, and so they took that as a direct threat that they were going to use military force against the Holy See. Okay, so the Vatican got invited to the White House to celebrate 250 years of America, what have you, right? And the Pope said, "Fuck that, I ain't going." Not his words, those mine, no, but that's what he meant. He said, "I ain't going." Okay, he decided that he's going to take his trip and go over to Sicily instead on July 4th, where there's a lot of African immigrants who come ashore in Sicily. That's why Sicily is like the Black Italians to me, because it's such a mix of cultures in Sicily. And one of the reasons why I wanted to go there, I really could care less about go seeing the northern Italy, but I know there's some sites I want to see, but I need to get to Sicily. That's where I need to get. Anywho, so since he rejected it, of course, the dumb Don and everybody is taking offense as well. The drunkard Pete Hegseth and other top Pentagon officials were particularly pissed by his January 9th speech. They took it as insult that he rejected the invitation. And so, yeah, they came out with that little conversation about the Avignon papacy, which indeed suggests that they would use the military to attack the Vatican. Okay. So, considering we're not even supposed to be in war right now, we have a ceasefire how we have a ceasefire if there's no war? What are we ceasing? What exactly are we ceasing if there isn't any war? But anyway, the orange felon, he has signed new regulations registering 18 to 25-year-olds into the military selective service automatically. Now, this is not an actual draft at this point, right? 18 to 26-year-old males are supposed to legally register for the military anyway. There's some exceptions to the rules. If you're the only son, I think that's one of them. If you're the only son, then you don't have to They have some exceptions, but I thought for sure if you were the only son, you did not have to register. It made you not eligible, or you can still volunteer, but you wouldn't have to register. But now, within 30 days of your 18th birthday, all males will be automatically registered into the military selective service, without signing up. They claim this is supposed to cut costs, supposed to save them over $2 million of trying to get everybody registered. Doesn't make sense to me, because you damn near register when you get your fucking driver's license. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Anywho, and you get jail time and everything for not registering right now. But they're gonna do it automatically. The thing that got me was that immigrants, if you are an immigrant, you are required to register now as well. I don't believe that was ever a thing before. If you were a resident, you had become a resident of this country, then registration I thought was included, but just immigrants only. It says in here that immigrants are required to register. Let's see. Now I spoke about this before when I be making my little post on the board and saying why you were sleeping, this happened. So this was actually signed, I can't say into law. This change was actually made December of 2025. I made a post about it back then. It goes into effect December 2026, and it is getting the spotlight shine on it right now because of this non-war war that we're in, and that they are anticipating that there's going to be a draft. There has not been a draft since 1973. Volunteering to go into the military was a thing once they ended the draft in 73. Now I know Jimmy Carter, he's the one that started the selective service registration, and he did that in 1980, but there still has not been an official draft. Now again, we're not in a war according to the Orange Felon, but they are having troops on the ready to go in to attack. Oh man, I meant to write this down. I saw something about the Marine Corps, that a lot of the doggone Marines was standing up against the administration, saying that they were not going to go fight over in Iran. I need to look into that a little bit thoroughly, and I'll tell y'all about that on another video, or I might just post it on the community tab. But they're saying that with the draft itself, so even though the news is saying the government is going to automatically draft individuals in December, that is not correct. So it's not automatically correct. They are required to register into the selective service, and now they're going to make it automatic within 30 days of your 18th birthday that you are registered for selective service. Again, it is not the official draft. It's supposed to take an act of Congress for a draft to be initiated. However, this current administration don't give a fuck about Congress. Yeah, they attacked Iran. They supposed to have a vote from Congress to do that. They didn't, and they're allowing him to do it without consequence. A felon was not supposed to be president, but damn it, here they are, and he's in that the motherfucker sitting up there on the throne that he made because he think he a fucking king. Usually felons serve jail time. This motherfucker got 34 counts of felony, and he free. In addition to people who commit treason against the United States with the insurrection and shit like that, people with treason are usually no longer breathing. But this motherfucker is still huffing and puffing all over social media, thugging. Okay, he's still out here. Oh, so he's also wrote a restriction on mail-in ballots. Now y'all know he just did a mail-in ballot for his own vote in his county, and people were like, well, how is a felony allowed to vote? It's based off the state. If the felony was not committed in that specific state, then he still has a legal right to vote. His crimes were charged and committed in the state of New York and Georgia, he can't vote in those places. He can still vote in Florida. So he did a mail-in ballot, and then the very next fucking day, put a restriction on mail-in ballots. It's unconstitutional, but he gonna do it anyway. He gonna do what he want to do. So he faces legal challenges right now in regards to that restriction that he's trying to put there. That's the voter suppression is basically what it is. I'm thinking it's somebody in front of you. Why are you in the fast lane? Okay, so like the felon and his little lawmakers and stuff, they have always been making these wide claims that the mail-in ballots were an issue and that there was fraud going on with the mail-in ballots, but there's no evidence out there to support that fact. Speaking of mail-in ballots, we already know just years ago, 2018, they had removed a lot of the blue mailboxes, to prevent people from doing mail-in ballots. The restrictions that they're placing out there right now is going to really hurt states like Montana and Colorado because they rely heavily on the mail-in ballots. 6 states, they have filed a lawsuit against the administration. Those 6 states being who? Who are those 6 states? New York, Illinois, California. That's just 3 of them. I think I got it on another page. I got it on another page somewhere. Hold on. I'm trying not to read and drive at the same doggone time. Did I not write down the 6 states? I don't think I wrote down the 6 states. If I did, they on another page. Yeah, I didn't write down the 6 states. But at least 3 of those, they are taking him to court in regards to voter suppression and things of that nature. I'll follow up on that as best as possible, right? Speaking of the post office, though, because when we're dealing with mail, we think of the post office. The United States Postal Service is going to suspend employer pension contributions for all employees in the FERS, FERS, Federal Employee Retirement System, as of today. They announced it last night, that they were no longer going to put any type of contributions into that program. If you have employee contributions coming out that you're making yourself, they're going to keep those up, but they're no longer going to, the employers are no longer going to put in. This is supposed to save the post office so many millions of dollars. They always have an issue with the post office around millions and millions of dollars when it comes to election time, right? So as of today, Friday, you will no longer have any employee contributions into FERS. This does not include the TSP Thrift Savings Plan. And again, I've only found information that this is for the Federal Postal Service. I didn't see that any other federal agency was going to be affected by this. Chile. I don't mean not TLC Chile. It's a cop back here behind me. I needs to pay attention. Got to be more careful. Okay, so Kamala Harris, she's making rounds. People are suspecting that she is going to have a 2028 election run. Somebody said that she announced it. I haven't seen that she announced it, but she is being keynote speakers to a lot of different Democratic events. She went to Greenville, South Carolina. She did an event in New York. She also, I paused because there's a cop right there. Let me slow down to the speed limit. I don't need no more school. Officer, you in the school zone. Slow down to 20 miles an hour. I will get your plates. You in the school zone. They gave me a $500 ticket. You better slow your roll. But anyhow, child. So he passed me now. I'm gonna let him pass me. So she's been in New York, South Carolina, Arkansas, just to name a few, making rounds, doing keynote speakers for different Democratic functions and fundraisers. But there is one U.S. Senate. What is she? This girl is running for Senate in Arkansas. She's decided to distance herself from Kamala Harris. She says she has nothing to do with her being there. She said we have nothing to do with the vice president being there as a keynote speaker. And her name is, what is this name? Haley Schaffner. She's running for the Democratic seat of in the state of Arkansas. Schaffner says that this event is a Democratic event that she was supposed to be a part of, and she decided that she is not going to attend because Kamala Harris is going to be there as a keynote speaker. She said this woman is coming here and that's all she's going to do is yap her gums for 2 doggone hours. She feels, she's a farmer out of Arkansas, and she feels that Arkansas is an independent state that has always split the tickets. She feels that the Democratic Party, which she is running under, and the Republican Party both have failed rural America. I had to pause for a second. I thought this van was going to hit this little boy. That yeah, they both have failed rural America. Now I mentioned that before when Kamala was running, that I thought that they should have focused on the rural areas more. She tried to like tap into it a little bit, but I thought she should have focused on it more. So I'm wondering though, to Haley Schaffner, who did you vote for in the last election? If you don't support Kamala, who did you vote for? Okay. Anywho, surprise, surprise, surprise. Fetterman, senator out of Pennsylvania, he has now gone against the Democratic Party once again. I already told y'all before, Fetterman is a goddamn Republican and Democrat drag. That's what he is. He's speaking out against the Democratic Party in regards to Iran. He said that every candidate, every Democratic president that's running for, every Democratic candidate who has ran for president has said on their platform that Iran was not allowed to have nuclear weapons. So this was highlighting the long-standing bipartisan position, so to speak, up in Washington. So he's criticizing all the Democrats for now attacking the orange felon over this non-war war that we're in with Iran. It's supposed to be a ceasefire, baby, but they still attacking these motherfuckers. Okay, anyway, I think he just hit an oil refinery in Iran. Yeah, they after the ceasefire, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section. Okay, so anyway, so he thinks that all these attacks against Dumb Donald is just a political attack. Now, this is the thing. We're not in a war, right? Okay. But the Dumb Don claimed that he destroyed all of their nuclear programming last year when he attacked them unprovoked as well. He claimed that they have destroyed it. They have wiped it clean out. I remember the big capitalized letters that he had all over Truth Social talking about it. No, sir. No, sir. I ain't. Slow down, officer. 20 miles an hour. You're not finna get me. I'm not finna pass you. We're going to go this 20. I'm going to do 19 while you hit your 20. The end school zone coming up right here, though. We're going to get right past through it real quick. State troopers be fucking you up. Okay, but yeah, everything was supposed to be destroyed. So what nuclear weapons are you talking about, Fetterman? What are we going after them for if they was destroyed last year, according to Dumb Don? Hey, the fuck? You son of a bitch, man, motherfucker, you. Hold on, I gotta go. I can't do what I normally do. I normally cut through this parking lot, but this state trooper might get my black ass if I do that. So now I'm stuck here. I can't get down to the light because I couldn't cut through the fucking parking lot like I normally do. Anyway, Fetterman, like I said, he's a MAGA. He's just a MAGA in Democratic drag. He shouldn't even been voted in, but because they've always said vote blue no matter who. That's how he got elected into office, because he jumped on the damn Democratic ticket. Whew. Houston, we have a problem. Or do we? Okay, so the Artemis pilots who are orbiting the moon right now, they had a conversation with the fella. So they up there and they orbit it around the moon, and the black pilot up there moisturizing like a motherfucker, baby. I don't believe that even made the news. That motherfucker was saying, I am gonna moisturize in space. He brought his shea butter baby with him. Anywho, he did that cop switch over here? Okay, anywho. So they had a conversation with the Dumb Don, or the Dumb Don was want to congratulate them on their voyage, right? I don't even know what the fuck he was talking about. He was talking about a whole lot of nonsense like he normally do. And while he was talking, I noticed that they kept playing with the microphone. The little microphone that's floating around, they flipping it over, rub it down and all that shit, right? So I was already like, if they can hear him, they ain't paying attention to that motherfucker anyway, right? So after he finished his little speech, silence. Silence, everybody, silence. It was just pure silence. It was comical. I want to say it was good 4 minutes. I don't know how long it was for real, but it was a long fucking time. It was just silence. And I was like, oh, maybe they didn't hear him. Because like I said, while he was talking, they was worried about this microphone. They playing it, passing it back for each other, flipping it around. And they was having conversations with each other. So I was like, they ain't paying attention to him anyway. So I was thinking, okay, maybe they didn't hear none of that. All that jibber jabber. Maybe they didn't hear none of it. After a long, deadly, hilarious silence, Tyra came on. It's like, hey, y'all still there? I just want to make sure that y'all can see everything. They're like, oh yeah, we heard them. And then again, silence. The crew of the Artemis said, we ain't fucking with you. We ain't got nothing to say. My mama told me that if I ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing at all. And that's what they did. Said nothing. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Who else is breaking ties and having breaking moments out here in these political streets? Is Melania Trump. She decided to hold a press conference. The administration said they had no knowledge that she was going to do this press conference. In her press conference, all she did was break ties with this administration and her husband's affiliation with Epstein. She said she don't know that motherfucker. She ain't friends with him. She ain't got no knowledge of his sex trafficking ring. Now, I remember she was supposed to have dated him, so you do know him. But she specifically said, I don't even know him. I don't know him. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. She had a long, drawn-out speech of what she's not affiliated with, baby. She was covering her ass. She was covering her ass in the event something happened. She don't want to go down. No, ma'am, you are complicit. I believe you are complicit as well. You probably helping them bring them young girls from whatever country that's around the country you from. You are complicit. You and the other chick, was the Kirk girl, wasn't she like part of a sex trafficking ring too? Or child trafficking ring too as well? But she did that press conference, said, I don't know him. I don't know nothing. Don't ask me nothing. She probably was copying that same script that Hillary Clinton did when she went to Congress. Hillary was like, I don't know him. Yeah, I sent the email, but so what? That ain't had nothing to do with nothing. Because she said the same thing about Ghislaine Maxwell. I sent one email that has no bearing on that I had knowledge about what that sex trafficking ring they had going on. She was disassociating herself hella fucking hard. She said, let me cover my ass, y'all. Okay. So on to the other topics. We have to get off the politics for a little bit. So Ontario, California citizens are fighting back with fire. Kimberly Clark Toilet Paper Distribution Center. They distribute toilet paper, paper towels, diapers, Kleenex, things, and then they paper goods was burned to the ground by an employee or third party employee. The guy who burnt it down, 29-year-old Shamel. What is his name? His first name was Shamel. I might get to it again. Oh, Abdul Karim. Shamel Abdul Karim. He didn't sound like he was Arabic. His tone of voice is very, European sounding. But however, he videotaped it, put it on TikTok, and burnt that bitch down. And he said, all y'all motherfuckers had to do was pay us a living wage. Apparently, the employees have been trying to fight for a living wage for a long time, and they keep getting denied. The union has not been able to negotiate for wages for them. So he said, I'm going to take it out your ass. He set that whole warehouse ablaze. The warehouse was 11 city blocks long. 1.2 million square feet of property burned to the ground. It took 175 firehouses or firemen and 20 firehouses. Baby, it took a lot of motherfuckers to put that out. I want to say it was a long goddamn time to put that fire out. He has no regrets. He kept saying, y'all motherfuckers should have paid us. All y'all had to do was pay us a living wage. There was 20 employees in the warehouse at the time that the fire started. They had found 19. By the time the police had showed up, one was missing, and the police had suspected that one employee was the one who had set the house afire. And it turns out that the guy who did it, Shamel, or the alleged person, I'm gonna say alleged, alleged person who did it, says he works as a contractor in one of the subsidiary parts of Kimberly Clark. He doesn't work specifically for that warehouse. He's still affiliated with Kimberly Clark. But yeah, he wasn't one of those 20 employees that was there in the warehouse. All those employees got out safely. There was no harm to them. I don't even believe any of them had smoke inhalation or nothing like that. None of that was reported. But baby, that warehouse was, woo, the roof was on motherfucking fire. I wonder, he's been charged with arson, but I wonder if he's going to be another Luigi Mangione case. Now, Luigi Mangione stood up against the insurance giants and took out a CEO, and his case is looking better and better each day. Stuff getting dropped left and right, and now we got Shamel Abdul Karim. Okay, we have him up here taking out the man. Now, mind you, this is gonna create a toilet paper shortage, baby. This is gonna create a rise in prices of toilet paper and all that junk. Just let you know that's gonna happen, because Kimberly Clark, they have a lot of different subsidiaries underneath them that they supply toilet paper and diapers and like Huggies, Kleenex company. They supply a lot of toilet paper to a lot of different people. But yeah, the suspect was 29-year-old Shamel Abdul Karim from Highland, California. Woo, child. I reported before that Offset, the rapper, had been shot down in Miami. As of yesterday, he is still in the hospital, but he is very stable. Got pictures of him outside of the hospital, which I find shocking, because usually when it's a GSW, they lock that ward down because they don't know if the person's gonna come back and finish the job. Now, again, there was 2 people that had got arrested at the time. One of them was a rapper named Lil TJ, and TJ is mad as hell that Offset told on him, "You shoot me, and you mad that I said it was you." Apparently, when the shooting happened, Offset pointed to him. He was right there and said, "He did it." And rapper TJ got arrested. Okay, now Offset is the day after he got shot is a casino in Detroit suing him for $100,000 for some debt that he ain't paid back to them. He opened up a line of credit and never paid it back. So they suing him. They said, "Oh, we know where your ass at. We know you down in Miami in the hospital." So they filed suit against him for monies that they owed him. He, while he's in the hospital, now wants to have a fucking DNA test done on Cardi B's last baby, the one she's supposed to have with Stephon Diggs. He already, in their divorce proceedings, is trying to get alimony and child support out of her. So he got a lot going on, bruh. Sit your ass down and just rest. So Gucci Mane reported on him that he was supposedly kidnapped by a couple of people off his label, and they was arrested on April 8th. Well, according to Pooh Shiesty, which is one of the alleged, his lawyer is saying that he find it funny that they took 3 months to try to arrest anybody, and all the evidence, or majority of the evidence that the FBI has, all came from statements from Gucci Mane. They implying that there's no witness accounts and things of that. I don't know if there's supposed to be video or anything like that, but that's the implication they're making by saying that Gucci Mane, his account of what happened is the only evidence of what the FBI has. I'm gonna keep following up on that. I know some of y'all said y'all don't care about rappers, but I gotta get my mind off of politics 24/7. Come on, young ladies, cross the fucking street so I can turn the damn corner. Shit. I'm sitting waiting on their goddamn ass. I think that's it. I'm almost at work, y'all. This is PNTV. I'm going to do another segment specifically on the post office because there's a whole lot of changes coming down the pipeline. Y'all motherfuckers playing. Yeah, it's your turn to cross the street, but you ain't turning this time. Crossing this time. Okay, so yeah, let me go ahead and get to my office, and I will talk to y'all in another video. See y'all tonight for the Testaments, episode 3. Thank y'all for coming out. Peace.